I represent a community of female entrepreneurs called Mulheres à Obra, Women at Work. We were born 5 years ago, but we now gather over 150,000 members on Facebook. We were just constituted as a company last year in October, so this is our first project. Now we already also have an association. We are very active, and I would like to invite you all. We are going to have a seminar this Friday here in Lisbon, in the Faculty for Social and Human Sciences of the University of Lisbon. Okay, it's a seminar that relates very much with this project. It's called "The Challenges of Training for Female Entrepreneurship," and you are all invited to attend. We have a limited attendance because of the COVID. Okay, so if you want to attend, I would ask you to send me an email to Camila Rodrigues @mulheresaobra.
You can. I can write here.
Okay.
I think.
Eugenia can share. .pt.
Where is the mouse? Oh, Francisco, desaparece no rato.
If you want, you are welcome to attend our meeting. We will have also a moment of networking. We will also have Dora Santos with us presenting EPAL. She is an invited speaker, and we will present our project and also other EU projects, other Erasmus funded projects. So you are very welcome. I would ask you, if you want to attend, to send me an email until today, at the end of today, okay? Because we are limited attendance because of the COVID, and we need to know as soon as possible. Okay?
Como é que eu consigo escrever? Estava a olhar para aqui, mas é ali que eu tenho que olhar. Ok. Camila.
Camila Rodrigues, @mulheresaobra.
Camila Rodrigues, @M.
Mulheres.
Ai, é mesmo mulheres.
Convidadas, se quiserem vir ao nosso encontro em Lisboa, mandem-me um e-mail hoje até o final do dia, está bem? Vai ser na sexta-feira, durante todo o dia. Vamos ter também a Nova Santos. Convidei a Eugénia para ir, não sei se ela consegue lá estar ou não.
I will be there.
Okay. So join us. You are most welcome, okay?
Okay, so let's go on. Now the next institution to speak, to introduce yourself is... Where is the presentation here? So many screens, oh God. Yeah, now it's Ananda Marga. It's so difficult.
Yeah, it's Ananda Marga. Yeah.
So okay, now your faces.
Bom dia. Ananda Marga Pracharakasanga. Yeah, it's a name in Sanskrit. Yes, but so I'm Fernanda. Nice to meet you all. I've been working with this team since end of last year, and so the idea of the project is active citizenship, sustainability, and also a digital platform to build a network of some eco villages as well. And we are very much into this this kind of idea to build a rural nucleus that can incentivize local producers and local activities. And I'm very happy also to be here. And it's unfortunately I cannot be there because we'll have a youth exchange starting tomorrow. And then we are, the last details here. But nice to meet you all, and I hope we can for sure use this network for future projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Fernanda. I wish also a very nice moment with the youth exchange for tomorrow. Now will be Tropical Astral.
Hi, my name is Veronica. I'm actually from Finland, so that's the reason we're speaking English today.
Let's be finished.
It's very difficult. I'm actually an English, Swedish and Finnish teacher by trade. We moved down to Portugal a few years ago and opened up a company here. I actually worked with EU projects since 2008, so I'm very well aware of how that works. However, This is the first small-scale project, so I understand it's a little bit different. We work in adult education, and this one is Sophia, who I work with.
Thank you, both of you as well. Nice to have you here from Algarve. It's an institution from Algarve. And yeah, also newcomer in this kind of partnership. But since you have experience in the other European projects, I believe it's going to be really easy for you. Let's see. Okay, and now we have Associação Cultural para o Desenvolvimento, Iniciativa Portugal-Europa. Who's there? It's here.
Yes, good morning. My name is Monica. I'm with Paula. We are from ASDIP. ASDIP is a recently created association based in Alentejo, and it was born to be a think tank to discuss European questions. Now it's our first project, and let's see how it goes. We are experiencing other European projects, but not as an association, so it's our first work together. So
Yeah,
nice to meet you all.
And Paula?
Yes, we are together.
Okay, so also nice to have you here. And now it's from Alentejo, so Algarve, Alentejo, this is nice, very nice to have people around Portugal. And next, Empoderar. Where is Empoderar? I think it's...
Hello.
Okay, hello.
It's me. My name is Nuno. I'm sorry. I'm right now with COVID. That's why I cannot be there right now. Not
I'm
in my
glad
best.
you're not here.
Yeah, not in my best days. But so I'm glad to at least I'm able to attend our meeting. I'm very pleased to start our project. We are a newly funded enterprise. We use psychological science to promote well-being in the society. And that said, we intervene in very different contexts. It can be entrepreneurship, employability, promoting mental health, or in attitude change and behavior change, like promoting more sound environmental behaviors or promoting a more tolerant society. Our project is focused on receiving and giving coaching training to NGOs so they can work better as a team, and also to better promote and help disadvantaged target groups. Thank you very much.
Very interesting. Thank you, and I hope you'll get better soon.
I will, and we will meet.
Okay. Once again, a newcomer as well, right? You are a newcomer on the program.
Yes,
aren't you?
Yes.
Okay.
We are a newcomer on the project, and our partner is also a Finnish partner. Yeah, we will be working with Ben Furman.
Okay. We're all closer to each other in a certain way. Okay, now another difficult name to pronounce, Moacir Ferraggi Filho. Am I saying well?
Hello everybody. My name is Marcela Sobral. I represent Moacir. Moacir is the personal name, and we have a new entrepreneur. And we are newcomers, and our partner is newcomer too. And we are in the Azores, in the Terceira Island, and we start the project. The fantasy name of the small entrepreneur is Vistara. That means expansion. So project is inspired. The goal is inspire people to wellness and meditate and practice technicals and the style of life that improve for ourselves and create a more wellness for people and inspire people to stay more connected and separated depression or situations, not only depression, health, but bad situations in our lives. Is this? Thank you a lot for now the people. It's good. We are the first time in the Erasmus, so it's a good opportunity for us. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, Marcela. Another newcomer. So this is real a small-scale partnership. So it is about to have newcomers in the project. And the last but not the least, Clube Intercultural Europeu.
Good morning, everyone. It's very good to be here. I wish you all a good morning. My name is Isabel Alonso Gomes. I'm project coordinator at Clube Intercultural Europeu. We are an NGO from Lisbon. We do local development mainly in the Valdechelas, and our project is about adult employability for adults with fewer opportunities. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so thank you, all of you. All of you seems very interesting, either your institutions, as I'm sure your projects. I wish you could know each other better so you can see what you could do with each other. But that's just the beginning here. Now it depends on you as well. So not to think further, I will, to take much time, I will continue with the presentation, and any question you already know, we are here, just let us know, either in Portuguese or in English. Okay, now changing to presentation. Oh God, it's so complicated. The mouse, it's here, it's here. Okay. Yeah, so on the results of this selection, you know, this is the second round. These partnerships had the first round, and it's already going on, the project, and yours are about to start or are just in the beginning. And we have here, as you know, two kinds of projects with two kinds of lump sums. For 30,000, we have 4 that were submitted, were 2 approved and 2 rejected. And for the 60,000, we have 15 applications submitted, 6 approved and 9 rejected. So you see, we have allocated 60,000 for the first kind of lump sum, first type, and 360,000 for the second one. It's not much for you, probably might be peanuts, as we usually say, but it's already for institutions to start in the program. And if you want a project with another kind of funding, it means that you have to do another kind of project as well. And it's possible because it's the KA210 that is about. So maybe after knowing better the program through a KA210, you can then think about the other kind of partnership. So I hope it will happen. And continue now with this one. I would like to speak to you about your contract. I believe half of you have received. I'm not sure if all of you have received. Since nowadays we have in a national agency a different team that is taking care of the contracts. So the desk of the project officer are not quite following that. So I heard that, or I could acknowledge that half probably of you have the contract. I don't know, here in this room, all of you have the contract?
We actually got it, but it was a question of the digital signature that I don't have.
Okay, so we will soon, I hope you will solve that. Because you know that if the contract is not signed, I cannot ask for payment.
We need the changing, the contract with the changes, because eles fizeram contrato,
certo?
E a Verónica escreveu à mão o nome, e não podia ser. E então a agência ficou de me enviar uma nova versão para poder imprimir e ela poder assinar e ir ao notário. Mas ainda não recebemos essa versão.
Tá bem, mas pode ser brevemente.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Yeah, we also have an issue with our contract, actually, because our president doesn't have the digital key, the institutional digital key, and I was wondering if I could just send the original contract. and then have it back sent with the original signature?
That's something you have to arrange with our team. So the ones
Okay.
that have contacted you, you have to ask that, because now
Okay.
we have these separate things. And yeah, you have already a contact, I believe, through email. So just make your questions. The thing
Okay,
is
thank
that-
you.
You're welcome. The thing is that to start the project, I believe you need the funding, right? So I'm a little bit worried on this part that is about the monitoring your projects, and if they got the delay, what can happen after? That's my concern. That's the point that I'm worried about. The formalities, it's with the other team. Okay, so for those, but all of you have received the contract, at least have an idea what it's about, or you haven't seen yet? You have seen, okay, because I'm going just to pick up some articles and underline them to remind you what you have to do during the implementation, okay? So basically, no, here you cannot see my presentation. Okay, again, so I'm going to speak about, well, I'm not the contract, as I said. You know that you have some annexes. I'm not going to say all of them, just to underline that you have some annexes that is part of the contract as well. So you should read it carefully. Here we don't have time to read everything, of course. Just as I said, I'm going to underline things. And here, just to mention that you have all these annexes, and you should have a look, a deeply look on them. Then I took the other some information, as I told you, saying that this is a multi-beneficiary contract where we have all the information you need, like the title, the duration, when it starts and ends. It's very important because of the eligibility period. You have the subvention that you will receive, and it's going to be celebrated between the national agency and the beneficiary. Partners will not make part of this, but they are, because it's one of the nexus. All the partners are mentioned there. So in a certain way, they are compromised as well. But if something happens, I just alert you, even if it's the partner's fault, it's you who have to respond to the national agency. So make sure that probably you have to establish also a contract with them. Now it's up to you. We highly recommend you. We can also show you some templates. I'm not sure if we have templates that are updated, since it's very new now, the program. But I think if we show you, or if we send you templates from the previous program, you can adapt, you can adjust. You just let me know if you want those templates. Then all the partners need to know, of course, the contract. And yeah, it's the partner. Yeah. Once you sign the contract, it means that you are accepting everything, and you cannot say then that you don't know the rules. And sometimes you don't have time to read the rules, and you don't know the rules, but you cannot say it. Okay, so it's just like it happens with everything that is linked to the law, right? You can never say that we don't know the law. So this is the same thing here. So pay attention to the period of implementation, and it starts the contract to count after the signature of the NA director. Okay. If you want to change anything in the contract, we need to talk about that. It's with me that you should talk. And we need, usually I send a request amendment form. So if you would like to change the duration, well, subvention, only if you want to give us some money back, because give more, sorry, we will not give you more money. So anything that you need to the activities, whatever, you talk to me or you ask me for this form, okay? One thing that you must be aware is that change should not be deeply, because it was evaluated by assessors. If you are changing too much, it means that the nature of your project will be changed. So this change should be not in a very substantive way, okay? And you should ask me 1 month before it gets effect. course, you cannot ask after it starts. So before you want to make the change, you should ask. So 1 month at least before it produces effects, or before the end of the project, 1 month as well. And don't forget that in that form, you need to justify well why you are asking those changes. And in all, then I will make sure that you receive these slides, and you will see all my conversation that I've been doing. It's then fundamented by the article of the contract that I'm writing down there, okay? Then there is modalities, we can say, of payment that we do to the coordinator, means to you. What we call first installment, adiantamento in Portuguese. It means that we are facilitating you to use the money, but the money is still not yours. It's going to be yours after the final report will be approved. It's just a loan, kind of loan. It's not the loan, the right word, but it's a first installment that you will have to start the project. And it still is the national agency and the European Commission money until it becomes yours. And at the end, in the final report, we will see how much funding we need to pay. Usually, well, when the contract is signed, we should pay you in 30 days. On the reports, you will have one report. Well, in fact, for this kind of project, I'm just wondering about your contract. From what I saw, you might not need to submit progress. But even though, let me just let you know that in this kind of project, we have a progress report and interim report. It means that when it is a progress, it's just a point of situation that's going to tell us about. It's not to give you the right to receive more funding. And since it's a very small project, yours, you have to check on your contract because sometimes it can be different. But I believe that you might not have a progress report. And for the intermediate report, that's for sure it's not yours because it's for a bigger project and with more funding as well. And in that case, the report, the interim report, will give us access to one more installment. So I will pay you after that. But in your situation, check in your contract, but I believe that you will not have reports.
I'm sorry, you can ask something. Do you have a template for this report?
Well, yes. If in your case exists the report, as I told you, you need to check. But even though, of course, all the reports are you need to fill in with a template, and the national agency always will give you a template. The final report, the interim report, it's all with our templates. One particular thing is that since we are in a new generation of the program, we have new tools and the IT tools, and the European Commission are still building them, constructing these tools, and it's for the interim reports are not there yet, and maybe next year will not be there. So those cases where I need to send the form for the progress report or interim report, it will be in a Word template in principle. And it's up to us to send it to you.
It's so they don't want to use the mobility tool anymore?
No. If you just learn how to deal with that, well,
it's very easy, I thought.
Yeah, but now they will have new tools. It's a new generation. It doesn't mean that all generations have new tools, but basically times they change. Yeah, we have been with quite few platforms that we need to learn how to work with. So, but I will talk about that platform later on, okay?
But another question. It means that maybe we don't have reports and we just have to fill the final report.
Yeah.
And
yeah, because it's a very small project, so probably that's what's going to happen. But please check your contract.
Okay, so we have the adiantamento and then just the final report
Yeah.
to confirm that
Yeah.
we use that money.
Yeah.
And that's all.
That's all.
And you will provide this template for the final report now at the
No.
beginning?
No, not now, because final reports, I believe you're going to have in these tools that the European Commission is dealing with now. So I believe you're going to fill in through that web tool.
So for the moment, we don't have access for that to prepare, let's say, about.
Once I have access, I will let you know. Okay, let's do this way. Okay. For now, I don't have news to tell you about. And on the final report, there will be 60 calendar days that we will have to pay you. Well, first you need to submit after the project is finished. We have 60 days to present the final report, and then we have 60 days to pay. Okay, and we have to analyze and ask if you need something more information, and then we pay. Once it's approved, we pay. So final report will be in principle in the for those that are virtually, just I don't know if you understood, but final report you need to fill in a web tool, okay, which is not ready for now. I believe I cannot present you anything, but I just let you know that that's the way it is. But that's the way it's going to be. And yeah, of course.
In terms of taxes, how should we report this receiving this money?
Yeah, on the expenditures on your projects. You also have in the contract the way how you should justify, but basically invoices are not needed, because what we really need is to make sure that you made the activity, and that's other ways that we have to make sure that you made the activity. For instance, if you have a certificate of attendance, this can.
For example, the money we received is exempted from taxes?
Yes. Yeah, completely. And any kind of, so if you take a taxi or whatever, you're not going to pay, or you're not going to justify by expenditure. You're going to just say, I went there, and this is a certificate that I went there.
But for the financial aspect of it, the tax aspect, we have to put it in our declaration of income.
Well, that's more account. I don't know, colleagues from the audit, can you help me here? How to explain about the taxes on these projects? I believe that there is no taxes that they need to report. Colleagues from audit, please.
Eugenia, can you hear me?
Yeah.
In what concerns taxes, each one of you knows your internal rules and national rules that you must follow. And of course, yes, it must be every transfer, every amount that you receive from this agency must be recorded on your accountancy. And as a transfer from like a, Eugenia, can you help me? A subsidio.
Yes,
it's exempt
from tax. Here, it's for Portuguese here. Subsidio. See, you can say it in Portuguese because the institution is Portuguese. Just say it.
Oh, okay. Then it's like that. Everything must be transparent in your accountancy records. So yes, for sure, it must be there. And if you receive any audit from any audit body, from commission or a similar one, you are able to show them that in your accountant records there is that bank transfer from the national agency under this project.
Okay, but we will not be paying taxes for that money. Nós não vamos estar a pagar tributável, ou seja, não está sujeito a imposto.
No. This is money from the European Commission, and each country must not be subject to additional taxes.
Okay,
So sorry.
Just one thing here. I apologize, but I forgot to let you know that we have also colleagues attending this meeting. We have 3 from audit. Maybe you can go them later on in the middle of your implementation of your project. We don't know. I will speak also about them in my presentation, but well, I need to present you here. So for now it's Lourdes Monteiro that is there, but we also have Catarina Oliveira and Helena, but I'm not sure if they are listening to us now, but it's 3 elements in this team that you might receive a visit from them if necessary, if they decided they should go to visit you. Oh, now it's Catarina here. Okay. Elena, do you want to show your face as well, just for them to have an idea who's going to visit them maybe one day? Elena is not there. Okay. Okay, let's go on.
Eugenia, please.
Sim.
I'm so sorry, but Marcela here.
Marcela, I saw Marcela, you have your hand up. That's true. Do you mind? Marcela was already the hand up. Okay.
Porque eu desculpa, preciso falar em português. Eu fiquei com algumas dúvidas nessa parte que você falou das faturas. No relatório, a pergunta da nossa colega foi, acho que um pouco rápido, e ela está um pouco mais afastada, eu não consegui entender bem como deveria ser feita essa parte.
Ela estava sujeita a impostos.
Não, antes da pergunta dos impostos, você explicou alguma coisa sobre as faturas mês a mês, e eu perdi um pouco.
Sim, não é preciso apresentar faturas no âmbito destes projetos. Não é? Estes projetos são lampsamos, a lógica é muito na base de comprovar com determinadas evidências a concretização da atividade. Basicamente é isso que nós queremos e por isso deve ter um certificado de presença que vai justificar, por exemplo. Mas essas especificidades também estão no contrato, é por isso que eu digo, devem também. Eu estou aqui a falar assim, por alto, mas a leitura do contrato não se substitui àquilo que eu estou aqui a dizer. Portanto, atenção. Por isso, deve descansar. Basicamente é o que isto significa, não é? Portanto, não há aqui fatura a fatura, não há necessidade.
Ok, eu entendi agora, obrigada.
Nada. Okay, let's move on. Any other question? Yeah, your question. Yeah.
I just want to ask, first of all, the aviamiento is 100% of the total? What is the percentage? 80%.
Usually it's 80. I believe in this project there is no exceptions. Okay. But sometimes, because of certain situation on financial capacity, it's not. It happens that we need to assess, but it's after 60,000 when the projects are asking more than 60,000. In your situation, it's no applicable, so we not. It's 80 in principle.
And we should transfer the total for the partners, or
that's
it's up
something
to us?
That's it's up to
it's
you.
Up to us.
It's up to you. What we would like to recommend you is that not asking a big effort on your partners. You have the money on your side already. Well, you're going to have it very soon. So your partners should also have the amount that you consider enough for them to implement the activity. So you should not ask them a big effort, or because sometimes the institutions, because the coordinator are the responsible, they're a bit afraid. So they ask the partners to implement, to do the expenditure, and now and after you will reimburse them. But this is not very nice. So that's what we recommend, to give them the money
we
before.
Received money, and 2 days after we transfer the 80% of the.
It's up to you. You should say, okay, now we're going to only until you have a program. Imagine you're going to say, okay, till in the 3 or in the 6 months after, you're going to have only a few activities, so we don't need to give you all the money. So we're going to just, that's something that you should see and should negotiate with your partners. Okay?
We transfer the money and they issue the declaration saying that they got it.
We have the bank transfer also to have that, but okay, now it's up to you. But the bank transfer, it's very important to keep the record on those. Okay. No more questions. Marcelo, you have still your hand up. A mão está para cima. Se for da pergunta
it is before. It's okay.
Okay, thank you. Move on. Okay, on the deadlines for the final report. Well, you have 60 days, as I told you, after the end of the project to fill in the form, the web form. Then you have 60 days well, the national agency has 60 days to analyze and approve. If at the end we find out that the money was not well implemented, or you didn't realize or didn't follow all the activities, we might ask you for some. So, sure. Make sure that everything is okay as it was foreseen in the application. Claro. Não, mais perto da foto do artista, peço desculpas, estamos com algum ruído aqui também na agência. Obrigada, Ana. Then about if you have partners that doesn't have euro, that doesn't work with euros, right? You need to pay attention that all you need to report to the national agency always in euros. So it means that if you have your partners have made some expenditures in their local money, so you should know that you have to follow here a rule. So you have that you need to do the exchange. The rule basically is that you have to see how much was the exchange rate when you received the money in your bank account. On that day, you see what is the exchange rate, and that's the rate you're going to use it on the partners. Then on the language that you need to make your reports. Well, this is the way. On the contract, it says that it's in your working language. So it should be English. Most of the time it's English. So it should be in English. But if at a certain point you prefer to do in Portuguese, it already happened before, I will accept as well. But what I would like to also say to you is that the rule is that, so if I reject your report because of the language, I'm doing doing it well because it's in the contract. But usually I don't do that, I accept, but it's a matter of transparency with your partners, because this way they can have access to what we say. Well, what we say, that's a very nice thing also. It's because the national agency will send you the evaluation. So you can send to us and make the transparency to your partners too, so that they can know what you are reporting to the national agency. But when the national agency reports to you, it is at least until now, it has been like this in Portuguese. I'm so sorry, but that's the way it is. And for now, there is no change like that. It's not so fair, but that's why I also sometimes, well, most or all the times I accept also the reports in Portuguese, of course. But that's not the rule anyway. On the security of your participants, if you have mobilities, which is, well, the core of this project is to have mobility, to make people visit each other in your own countries. So don't forget that you should guarantee safety, or you should have assurance for that. Sometimes you don't remember about that because the trips, when you buy a trip, there is assurance, but the civil assurance should be also recommended to have if something happens during the implementation in your own country. So about the tools, yes, so you will know the tools, and you should then, you are obliged to use that tools, okay? So the management tools are mandatory, and you will know about them soon. And also to know that you should use the platform on the Erasmus Plus results to, if you have any tangible results, you are obliged to insert in this platform. So this platform, it's very important, not only when you are doing the implementation of your project, but also before, if you want to implement a new project, you should check first on this platform, because it shows you what have been already implemented. And this way, you are not implementing something that's already been developed, okay? So you should check this platform before you're submitting an application. Then you should use this platform to insert results, and also you can use this platform for search partners and also to disseminate your project. It's a tool that you will listen to talk about it several times. I will again show you later on. And you have the web link in the contract. About the visibility of the European funding, all that you do, and this make it visible to an audience, you need to use some visibility of the program. There is also a web link in the contract that you should go there and see how you're going to use the logos. I've been receiving a lot of questions saying that if you have to use the national agency logo. No, that is not mandatory. If you decided to put in your dissemination information about the project, the national agency logo, then you should also to visit the national agency website and have a look how this logo should be used. And the same way for the logo for the European Commission. The logo for the European Commission, you can use two kinds of. One that just say Erasmus Plus. I'm sorry, my throat is dry. And another one that is very important that says it's co-financed by the program, the Erasmus Plus program. So make sure that you are using the logos in everything you do that is going to be shown outside of your institution. I remind you that this is community money, so it's from everybody and should be transparent what you are doing, okay? And there is usually also a sentence that you should make sure it also there. It said that the European Commission doesn't have any responsibility on your results. So yeah, it's declining the responsibility of the European Commission on what you have been doing. This is also very important. On the rules applicable to lump sums, well, when we say lump sum, we already know that you're talking about a fixed amount. When it is a fixed amount, it means that you don't have much flexibility to move the money around your activities. We expect that all activities are going to be covered by that amount, and you should make show evidence of that to the national agency when you are submitting a final report in a certain point where we have the section 5, where it shows you how you should send those evidences to the national agency. So that question, what shall I do with invoices? This on the section 5, you will see the reply to that your question, saying how or what kind of documents you should send to the national agency.
Is it so that there are no timesheets in the small scale project?
Listen, it's up to you. You're not supposed to develop projects with a certain amount that you need to show the European Commission that you are following. Right now, what you have to follow is the activities that you have in your budget. You have to give evidence to the national agency that was being done. And you can see in the contract, section 5, where what kind of evidences are those. But as I told you, mostly of the situation here is about certificates and attendance lists. So basically, it's that. But you should also have a look to see what else we are asking. But basically, yeah, it's like this. And it's for you, it's good to have timesheets because you need to follow the partners, how they are running the expenditures and the funding. Then you use the timesheets. So now here it's more flexible than in the others, because in the others we were asking exactly that. Here, for those that were in the former program, can use some knowledge to run these projects. but it doesn't mean that you are obliged to use it. So yeah, make the difference.
It's up to the coordinator to decide how to monitor or control
The
that.
partner. Yeah, yeah. We want to keep it simple, basically. Well, and there is, of course, another rule in the contract that says, another article that says if you are not complying the contract, the activity that you said that you're going to do, we're going to ask you that money back. So one activity that is not accomplished, it has an amount, and that is the money that we are going to ask you back. Don't forget that. Or you have to replace that activity, and then we have to submit the change to the national agency. What can you do, for instance, with the eligible activities under this kind of small-scale partnerships? So you have the money for managing the project, which means that you can use that money for your own work, the time of your own work, when you are making bank transfers, when we are subcontracting any services, if it is really needed, assurance. Then you have also, if you have activities on training, learning, you also have trips under this and subsistence. And also COVID tests. You can use the money for that. You have meetings and events, of course, you have to pay for rooms in principle. Catering, speakers, keynote speakers, so you can use money also for that. And time of your work, as I told you, for the results, using timesheets if you want. And if you would like also to share the results, which we recommend as well, of course, to disseminate. Also, if you need any funding for that, you can use the money for that. So this is some examples where you can use the money, since in this kind of partnerships, compared to the former program, everything was very well specified. Now, there is almost no rules. Now the rules that we have, it's basically what is in your contract. So as you see, it's in one side, it seems very easy, but sometimes on the other side, we are a bit we are not, because there is no boundaries on things, we are not so secure if we are doing our job well. And when you foresee in your activities, an activity that will have a lot of sub-activities in it, it will give you more doubts. Shall I use the money for this? Shall this sub-activity, it's in the activity or not? So you see, sometimes the flexibility is so big that gives you this kind of doubts. But that's why I'm here. When you have this kind of doubts, just send me an email and we check. If I have doubts, I have my colleagues that you have met, and all of us made a brainstorming, and we see if your expenditures are in fact eligible.
I have a doubt about the web page. I don't know if we need to have a dedicated web page or we can host the project inside our.
First of all, have you foreseen a web page in the project?
We have, but now we are considering, because we are going to have a virtual exhibition, and we were trying to see how it's the best way, because one of the partners has a tool already developed, and we are seeing if how we can do it.
Because as I told you now, basically what you have to follow what is in the contract. If it is in the contract saying that you're going to have a new website, if you are not creating the website, it means that you have that amount of money that you what going to do with that.
But I think that we can have the webpage because we have foreseen that, but the virtual exhibition may be hosted in the partner that is responsible.
Specify that in the application, you are free.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
But make sure that the people can see. I don't know if you're going to spread or make a link from your web page to that. I don't know.
Yes, all the information will be in one web page, but then to open the virtual exhibition, it will be in the museum web page.
If you have a way to reach that page of the partner, no problem.
Okay.
But if you decide not to do the web page of the project, then we need to talk because we don't want you to give money back. So either you do another activity replacing that, or I consider that.
No, we are going to have it. Just this thought about how to make the
Really?
virtual exhibition.
You put a link into the other one. Still on the final report to say that we like an application, we also have points to give. And it's 100 points, the maximum that you get it, if everything is fine. And any grade below 60, we're going to ask you probably some money back. So make sure that you're going to implement everything as it is foreseen, because then you might have some troubles here. And all the report, well, the report and the results, we're going to be evaluated according to some criteria that I'm going to venture for. You know, this is all in the contract. Huh? I'm just underlining this. And the criteria should be everything that is written here. It's just to give an idea. It's going to be assessed how if you have implemented the project the way you said. What about the quality of the project? Was it good or not? You're going to have an external assessor, that's true. It's not the national agency that's going to assess your report, at least from what I understood until now. It doesn't mean that we might change, because national agency can also assess if we have means to do it. Until now, we have subcontract to the others to do this, assessors to do this. Then we also will check about the impact of your results. You're going to let us know what was it and if it is fine or not, how it was innovated or not, or it's just it was not innovated, but you did something more. You add something to that situation, that it's not new anymore, but your project was able to add something else. If it is with added value on European Union, at the European Union level. Basically, well, you have other criteria here, just to give you some examples. And in case your evaluation is below the 60 points, you can be asked to reimburse still 10% of the total amount of the project. And then you see several others depending on the points you will receive, but everything is very well written in the contract. So pay attention that you are doing everything right, so you don't need to come here and see how much you have to reimburse. And once again, if you decide to change an activity, just ask me, because I need to see the relevance of it. And if you decide not to substitute that or replace, to replace that activity, don't forget that you might need to give the money back to the national agency. And that's something that we don't want you to do.
Can I ask something? We are going to develop training programs. Okay. And we decided that it would be interesting to have those programs validated by the judge. Okay. But that was not in the proposal. But we would like to do it. Can we use money from the?
But for that, are you not doing any other activity that is foreseen?
No, we are not the activities. So it's an added value for the results. But there are costs associated.
We are always very happy that if with less you can do more. Yeah. With that funding that you received, subvention that you received, it was to do all those activities, and you can do it, and you want to add others, we are going to be happy, of course. What can you say? Of course, you have already reached what it was foreseen. That's the first thing that we want you to make sure is to reach what was foreseen. After that, you can make up whatever you feel like it.
Okay.
Of course, that has to do with the project at least. But if not, then don't let us know that you have done it.
We can use money of the project to cover these expenses.
Once you finish everything, or once you implement everything that is in the contract, in the application, after that, you can add whatever you want. You can use the money. Okay. So then you have, just to let you know about the teams that are involved in your project. As I told you, we have a first team that is about the contract, that is dealing with the contracts, but also going to deal with to hire the assessor, external assessor. We have this team that we call a GAP, the ones that you are dealing with the contract, is the equipa de gestão administrativa e avaliação de projetos. And then we have the technical team, where I am. I'm doing, basically, I'm implied with you on the eligibility of the application. I had to see if it was eligible. Then I had, once the contract is established, I asked for the first payment. And I will follow all the life cycle of the project with you. And I might visit you if I consider that it is needed, or it just goes in a random way. Okay, so maybe one day, I don't know, you will receive my visit or the visit of my colleagues as well. And then my colleagues, the ones that I introduce you, it's the equipa auditoria de projetos, the audit team, that they will make some controls on desk check or on the spot checks, and can be during the project or after the project is finished, okay? Well, about the monitoring done by the national agency, we have this one. This is already a monitoring meeting. Then we expect to be in touch either by phone, email, whatever, video call. And we also would like to be, if you haven't yet done the kickoff meetings. So that is very important for us. You have that already. Sorry, I could not be there.
No, we didn't. We said it is on the 9th of June.
Yes, but I already told you that I cannot go. Oh, I didn't. I didn't know. Oh. No, I cannot go. I'm so sorry. I thought I already let you know.
No, we actually were expecting you.
Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry. Because I really love to be in these meetings, because it's a meeting where I know the partners. We have a very nice networking and a very nice conversations. I know people from outside, of course, of Portugal, from outside of the agencies. For me, I really enjoy very much those meetings. So on 9th, if you are thinking to do on 9th of June, sorry, I will not be there. I cannot be there. But any other date, please let me know in case you haven't done yet your kickoff meeting, okay? So the first meeting that you will introduce to your partners, if you may send me an invitation, I will be very glad. And I will see if I can be, of course, because my agenda sometimes it's overlapping with meetings and it's not possible. Then, yeah, this is also one thing that you should know, the project officer. It's also one of the monitoring aspects. And then we have the audits and the financial controls and so on. About the final report, I also would like to know that, because it's very important, that besides all I said, you need to follow the web form, or basically with some detailed information about the activities that you have implemented. You're going to be asked also in the qualitative aspects, but also quantitative aspects, and about the results, of course, that you are producing. And then one thing that is new, you're going to say what it's a self-evaluation of your implementation. And you're going to say what percentage that you consider it was realized on the goals of your project. If you reach the 100% or if you reach 90%, well, we're going to ask you to say that, okay? You also may expect some verifications, desk check, which is going to be done by the audit team. It's something that you're going to be asked to send some documents, because when you are doing reports, it's expected you not to send any document. I know that's a little bit weird because even when I say that, I'm always receiving an access to the reports, but it's not needed because when we need it, we ask you. And this is the best check R4 also, because then we're going to ask all the paper that you have going to be sent to the national agency. My colleagues will ask for that. Then we're going to have on-the-spot checks. On-the-spot checks, that's the ones that we might go with them to visit you or without them, only, okay? Maybe with that colleague that just left. I also didn't have I have the chance to introduce the one that was left. It's my colleague Ana Cunha, and she's not on the adult education. She's on the training, education and training, and she's following the K2 project. But since we are by ourselves in K2 projects, in VET and in adult education, we help each other. So we support each other. So when we do this kind of visits with each other, we go, both of us. So and on the on-spot checks, you already know, it's going to be checks in your institution. And this can happen, and besides this, as I told you, we might ask you some information during the project and after the project is finished. Even the European Commission can visit your project, okay? So, yeah, before saying, I finished the contract, the aspects that I would like to underline. Your project, it's very simple. So this is the aspects that I would like to underline. But also, I would like to say it's not there, but on the implementation, well, we every year, and I think on this generation, this new generation of the program, we might also do is that we would like to select good practices projects. So what I ask you is to implement the best way you can so you can be shown as a good practices for all Europe. But if this happens, we have a team that will contact you and we'll let you know all about it, okay? So about now that publication that I spoke to in the beginning, the European Commission wants you to communicate very well about your project, because if your project was funded, it should be well implemented and should be well disseminated. Everybody should, those people that are linked to the subject of your project. So I advise you to have a look on this publication. If you Google it, how to communicate your project, you easily reach this publication. It has this aspect. And basically, it's a step-by-step guide on communicating project and their results. And in a quick way, just to let you know that it's very important communicating not only with your partners, of course, but also with the audience externally to your project, to your institutions. Therefore, we have here this publication that is divided in 5 sections. The first one will let you know about the plan of your common journey, what they call here, and it basically gives you some ideas on strategies for communicating, okay, and how you should write a communicating plan. Maybe for some of you this is very easy, but some others are starting and they need some help, so this is just some tips for you. You should give some, you should visualize your project and how you have to create a visual identity. And sometimes this is being done, well, almost all projects do, it's to create a logo of your own project. Yeah. Then you should write your project stories. It means that it's here advising you to write stories of your project, to speak with others about your projects since the first day you are starting it. And consider to use a digital format. Nowadays, paper, for several reasons, are not so advisable. Then share your project results use websites, use that platform, as I told you later on about the Erasmus Plus results, identify the channels that you would like to communicate with others, inclusive the social networks, and yeah, communicate and share your result. And last but not the least, the evaluation of your experience. You should also choose indicators. If you have difficulties, how you should the indicators, this brochure, this publication also help you on that, and make an evaluation of all work that you have been doing.
Where can we find this document?
Google. Yeah. It's on our page, but if you Google it, like the name of the publication, which is how to communicate your project, you're gonna, I've done it like that. It's very easy. You don't need to go to the web page. Yeah. We are now already 5 minutes a little bit late to talk about EPALE, but it's not much, I believe. So we have here Dora Santos that can come now to our meeting. Doutora Dora, are you there?
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm here.
Thank you for being here with us. You may say now a few words if you want and share your presentation, okay?
Okay. Yes, I'll try to share my presentation.
I just remind you that all of them, if I well understood, are newcomers. So I don't know if they know about EPALE.
Okay.
So it's going to be a good time now to speak about it.
Okay, no problem. Okay, I'll start by sharing my screen, I hope. Just a moment.
I hope it works as well, because now, well, we have
Can you
here
see now? Can you see now?
No.
Not yet? Okay.
Not yet, but let's see, my colleague is also here from the IT department.
Okay, just a moment.
Something happened. Okay, now we just changed to a presentation mode.
Yes, just a moment. I'm trying to do this. Okay, I think now I'm on the presentation mode, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so I think you don't see me now, but important is to see the screen. Okay, my name is Dora Santos. I work in National Agency for Qualification, Vocational Education and Training, and now I work on EPALE. That is a platform. It means electronic platform for adult learning in Europe. It is a very rich platform because it brings together professionals working in formal, non-formal, and formal education, adult education across Europe. It is also sorry, the presentation is in Portuguese, of course. It is a multicultural community. We are about 37 countries, and EPALE is in 32 languages. It is free to join. Nobody needs to pay to use it. And it is for adult education professionals. But we have a broad understanding what is the adult education, because it can be a trainer, a teacher, guidance staff, researchers, academics, people responsible for human resource in companies, professionals assigned to organizations who work in training or education, adult education, and also policymakers. So I usually say that EPALE is for everyone who is willing to empower adults in all these new skills to cope with our daily life. We are also funded by Erasmus Plus program, and EPALE is considered part of the European Union strategy to promote more and better learning opportunities for all adults. As I said before, we are 37 countries, which one has a national service. In Portugal is my agency, since its beginning. We now have about 4,000 users on platform, and a little less of them are registered. This is important because you can use APAL being a regular user or a registered one. I suggest you to be a registered one because you can use all the functionalities of APAL, as I will show you later. APAL is also available in the different language. You can get into the platform and choose your language and change to another language if you want to see what another NSCS are publishing. And also we have an app since last year. It is still a project that is being improved regularly, but it's a way to use APAL when you are on your phone or using another device. Okay, so now I'm talking about why should we be part of this great community? What are the benefits for us now? I think we have a lot of benefits. We can have information and perspectives about all the education training policies in Europe related to adults and lifelong learning. You can also have training. We have MOOCs, OERs. We have an online course catalog. And it is about many thematics and a lot of courses. It's up to you to choose the one. It's also a very important platform for you to share and disseminate your projects and resources. For instance, if at the end of your project we have a product, for instance, a video, a guide, a book, you can share it with all the community using APAL. You can also develop and disseminate information, and also to contribute to the catalog of online courses for other users. One of the main aspects of the platform that can be important for you is that you can contact with other professionals from the same sectors across Europe. For instance, you can take part of the community of European vet practitioners. You can create your own communities of practice, and you have also access to the collaborative space. For instance, for looking for partners for your project, and also you will have access to a specific space for you to manage your Erasmus Plus project in an easy way. I will show you it later. And you also can participate in the events that APAL promotes. The next one will be the community conference in October. It's also free for everyone. You just need to be registered. And you also can participate in other initiatives like the community stories, and I'll show you and I'll talk about it later also. Every year, APAL selects some thematics to focus on it. This year, there are 4 thematic focus. The first one is young adults, with a special attention to those with 25-30 age group. It is because we are celebrating this year the European Year of Youth. And here we are discussing about topics like international learning, skills, civil skills, low-skilled young adults, and so on. Another topic of this year is the skills revolution. We are interested in debate What are the new frontiers of adult education? How can improve lifelong learning and employability? We are also having discussions and content about pedagogical methods like micro-credentials, individual learning accounts. That is something I think will change a bit the way we look for our training, and how to upskill and reskill our to better to cope with our life. Another thematic is the learning communities. How can learning communities be created across Europe? Learning cities, third place, safe place, family literacy programs, working learning communities, blended learning. This is some of the themes that we are discussing this year. And the last one is creativity and culture. And here we are interested in to understand how can adult education be a part of a strategic role in designing and building a sustainable, inclusive, and beautiful future. It is developed in the context of the new European Bauhaus. That is a new declaration that brings together sustainability and creativity. We are talking here about something like more resilient communities, cultural education that promotes and facilitates social cohesion, multidisciplinary culture space, and also, and very important, always thinking that human-centered societies through lifelong learning. When the war started, we had a lot of questions and requests from other NSCS, for instance, Poland. And EPAL decided to create a campaign about adult education in times of crisis. We are discussing here the relevance of adult education in response to crisis situations, such as the war in Ukraine, and its importance for the development of skills associated with resilience, solidarity, and peace education. It is very interesting because we are publishing interviews, for instance, like this one from these experts. Why do you need peace education now? What do we mean by this? And what can we do as adult educators? We also have, of course, contents that are submitted by users, and then NSCS publish them. And you see always here Dora Santos, but the contents are not all of mine. I simply translate them and I publish them. This is another initiative that is always promoted by EPAL. We are in its third edition. It is called Community Stories, and we invite users to create a text with its story and to submit a story using a platform. And this initiative is available till 30 October. The story is about you, about what you feel as adult education. These years, the last years was about the pandemic situation. Now we are wanting to hear about you. What is your oldest learning memory? What was your what motivates you? What makes you feel accomplished at the end of the day, and how education changed your life. It is a really interesting initiative because at the end of the year, EPAL published a book, EPAL Community Stories book, and invite all the participants to be in a training online about storytelling and the personal narrative. Now I'm showing you a video. I was thinking to show it at the end, but since we are taking it in English, I think I can show now. Oh, okay, sorry. It was not what I want to do.
Remember, you were a child, went to school, entered a new building, and met your new classmates and teachers. You were worried about failure, about not knowing enough, and were afraid of rejection. You played schoolyard games, laughed, made friends, became more confident, and succeeded. Our life experiences, the ups, downs, and everything between, shape us. As we grow and experience new things, we change. What is your earliest memory of learning? Who was there with you to make that moment enjoyable? And now, why did you choose to keep developing knowledge and skills? And when did you choose to support others in their personal and professional growth? Ipale would like to know your stories. Be part of a human archive of living voices of educators from all over Europe. Help us explore the adult learning community. What motivates you? What makes you feel accomplished at the end of the day? What makes you feel good about yourself as an adult learning professional? And how has education changed your life? Share your story now on Ipale.
Okay, the video was also to encourage you to submit your story and to be part of this big community of stories, and then you can see your story on the book that will be published at the end of the initiative. Here I collected some histories that was from the last book. All of these stories are in common. They were funded by ErasmusMais also. All the projects related by the authors. The first one is about a young human who created an association for the entrepreneurship of migrant human. The second is from a Spanish teacher and is about how they gather history and IT. And the third one is from an association teacher, well, mother who was an employer to become a business human. They are very different stories. This is just an example. Another important initiative of EPAL is the online discussions. It happens all during the year. The next one will be on July 8th and will start at 9 o'clock. It starts with a live broadcast, and then it is moderated by a written discussion. And at the end, the experts take their conclusions about the discussions. This one will be about learning communities in the rural areas. And it is all now available on platform, and all users can already submit their suggestions or their opinions or their ideas or their questions for the online discussion on 8 June, sorry. Now I will talk about Erasmus Plus Place. Probably it is the most relevant at this moment for you because of your project. So what is Erasmus Plus Space? It is a tool that helps you to manage and promote your Erasmus Plus KA1 and KA2 projects. It allows the sharing of information, and it also allows conversation between project members, and also to disseminate information or to keep it just in the group. to use it, you just need to be registered on EPAL. You must request your Erasmus Plus space, and after activated, you can simply invite project partners for the group, and then you can use it as you want. It's a space of it's your space. You don't need to ask permission for anything you can do inside this place. And now I have a video also to show you how this work.
Are you looking for a tool to help manage and promote your Erasmus Plus project? Are you struggling to find a free and secure space to cooperate with partners? Look no further. At EPAL, we have the solution. The Erasmus Plus space is a safe and secure tool designed for Erasmus Plus KA1 and KA2 projects. Project coordinators and partners use it for collaboration and dissemination, since it offers the possibility to post content privately as well as communication with the broader public. So how does it work? Request your Erasmus Plus space on EPAL now. And once active, you can start inviting more members of your team to populate the group. The Erasmus Plus space allows you to cooperate and manage your project activities. And it's a flexible space, ensuring privacy needed and visibility for contents to the public. In fact, your space can host private content and discussions among project partners, as well as public content for promotion purposes. The Erasmus Plus space in EPAL is helping projects to cooperate and to promote themselves to the whole adult learning community in Europe. So, if you want an easy and free space to manage your project, just register to EPAL and request your Erasmus Plus space.
Okay, and I think it's all I have to say you today. Of course, I can show you here the real platform, not using the just a moment. Okay. Are you seeing the platform now?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So you see, if I'm registered, so you cannot see the button here, but if I was not a registered user, I had here a button to click to register. Now I'm registered already, so you cannot see it. And this is the plan. When you want to collaborate, you see to request your Erasmus Plus place, you come here. Okay, you just click here. And you have information how to request. This is also other Erasmus Plus place already existed in the platform. And sorry, and this is the initiative I told about you, histories of community, and I'll show you. This is the video I show, and to share your story, you come here. You fill this information. You can fill this in Portuguese if you want, and then after that you can also put here some photos or videos, and simply click to submit your story. It's very easy. So I hope you participate to have more Portuguese stories this time, because I think it's a really good opportunity for you to disseminate your project and also your story as an adult educator or as someone who is working to empower other adults. Okay, and that's all. You can ask everything you want.
Yes, thank you, Dora. Any of you have a question for Dora? I think Fernanda already asked you something there, Dora. I think you should have a look in
the chat. Okay, let me see.
Yes, as you see, this is very linked to the.
Oh yes, of course. I can. Okay, you can. Eugenia can share with you my presentation. There is my email, but I can write here also for you.
I will share the presentation as well as mine. Later on, I will send you by.
Anyway, I put my mail on chat.
Okay, Dora, thank you very much. I think it was very clear. I can see that you have, EPALI have a new activities there. At least, well, there are some moments that I'm following EPALI and some other moments I'm not following so much during all the activity we have, but now I'm updated.
Okay, the platform that is always being updated and improvements every day. The CSCS is a very active team and always wanting to improve the platform. So it's really nice to work on EPAL.
Yes, I think it's a big effort that the European Commission is doing. I've been following, of course, EPAL almost since the beginning. And I know that the European Commission wants to make it very user-friendly, wants to make you to go there, to find reasons to go there. And it has been seen that there is a lot of efforts there and a lot of things have been done. I wish all the lucky for that. I hope the people will also consider it interesting and reply positively.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I just have a few points to say about this presentation. Is to tell you that it was mentioned here that you could also use EPALI for KA1. I'm not sure if you are using KA1, but at least you should know that if you would like to train some educators from other countries, you can create courses in your institution, either under a KA2 project, or you just have training in your institution and you'd like to make it adapted to an international audience. And with the money of KA1 project in each other countries, they can come to your institution and follow a training. And for that, you can then publicize that training on EPALI. So this is why it was mentioned here, a catalog for courses. It's because you can put on your courses there. And people with the Erasmus Plus money, they will come in here and follow that training. Then also to underline again that if you like to search for partners, EPALI, it can help you, as it was shown, as well as the Space Erasmus Plus. Space Erasmus Plus, it's a management tool for your project. It's not mandatory, but I just would like also to underline that it was financed, this tool was financed by Erasmus Plus funding. So it's expected, at least you have a look there and see if it is useful for you. And instead you are using others tools you consider appealing enough to you. So at least have a look to this Space Erasmus Plus to see if it goes the way that you'd like to manage your project. Then also to say that those thematics that were mentioned here can be interesting for you also to go there and react, of course, and create some contacts as well. But also it can, if you are not too willing to interact, you can follow them and make those thematics maybe a future project thematic for partnerships. So those thematics are in line what is being discussed for adult education. So it's very updated thematics, topics that you can follow those conversations, and who knows, get inspired for a new project. Okay, and yes, cooperate with the stories, the community stories. That seems very interesting, as well as the conference on 8th June. It's already on my agenda here. Well, I will see it's very soon now. But I would like very much to follow this subject on rural zones, which sometimes are so far away from what the world is running, that it's also a very important subject to tackle on our partnerships. Okay, so on Nepal, it's this. Our time is already going. And let's move on also in my presentation, but we are almost finishing. Okay, it was now the intervention. And just to let you know that the platforms that you should expect to know it quite well, I would say, is that here, the Erasmus Plus project results. As I told you, you have a filter here, then you can make your search the way you want, but it's good for before submitting an application, during, and also using it for disseminating the results. Then on the side, I would like to speak to you about the, well, Erasmus Hub. I believe it's some terminology for us in the national agency. I think for you, maybe what you should have in your mind is the name Sabe Mais. Learn more. Okay, this is going to be also another tool, so many tools, web tools, to communicate with the national agency. It's not ready yet. It's being developed. So when it's finished, I'll let you know. But at least you know that we were planning to, now I think it's going to be a reality. So what the goal here is to have all the communications with the national agency linked to your project. So in this tool, anyone that is dealing with the project, of course, and is allowed to manage this, can see what have been discussed. Imagine if I have to leave to another team or some other place, whatever, all communication between us are there, so anyone can follow, and the same happens in your institution. So it's good for that. And then a very important one, it's the one that replaces the mobility tool, which is called beneficiary model. So from all institutions here, I believe that some have already received a message, an email similar to this one, or not. Well, that
Eugénia?
Sim.
Desculpa, eu penso que não estás a partilhar a tua apresentação, pelo menos com a parte virtual, porque não estamos a ver.
Obrigada, Lourdes, por teres dito, porque então eu não sei o que é que está a passar, que eu não fiz nada. Temos aqui, eu tenho aqui o meu colega, nosso colega, Francisco, que vai tentar perceber porque é que vocês não estão a ver a apresentação.
Obrigada.
Foi uma outra anterior, não é? Da apresentação. Ok. Yeah. Ok. Já estão a ver, Lourdes?
Sim.
Ok, pronto.
Mas não é um modo, não é aquele modo total. Estamos a ver dois slides.
Total? Introdução daqui, aqui não.
Estamos a ver, deve ser o slide atual e um futuro.
Estou aqui a tentar perceber onde é que
ok.
Isto não dá para ver. E agora? Não.
Ótimo, está ótimo. Obrigada.
Pronto, obrigada. Ainda bem que estás aqui. Pronto. Estava eu a dizer que, então, o e-mail, que à partida, aqueles que já têm o contrato, sorry, into English, for those that have already signed the contract, should have received by now this email. It's an email from EU Corporate Notification System with all the information about the beneficiary model, with the link for that for this tool, web tool, and the guide how to use this tool as well. But I'm just going to show you in the very quick way what you have to expect by this tool. So the layout, as you can see, it's I would say it's very similar to the application because it's based on the same platform, we may say. Here you have the menu. That's the 4 items you have in this tool that you need to know each of them. And here you will see for each of them what you're going to find. So these are just print screens, so I cannot move around, just to have you an idea what to expect about this web tool. So it gives you all the details about the project. Then it will show you the institutions, the partners that are associated to this project, and you will see as well who are the contact person and which actions they are allowed to. Then if you go, as I told you, this is a print screen, so I cannot go inside, but then if you want them to have privilege to also fill in the web, this platform, or just have them to have the privilege to have a look, not to edit, then you have to manage this here, okay? Then, where is my mouse? Here, yeah. Then on activities, this is very important because this shows you what have been approved, and then you have to go for each of these activities. This was an example of an institution. Of course, you might have more or less activities here. Different ones for sure, but if you go inside of each activity, you will see what you have to first to. Well, this is probably what I consider the final report. Well, now I'm also, this is also new for me. I'm not so sure, but now I'm just remembering now that this is some questions about what the implementation. So this is already probably what the final report will have. Here you will see that you have the information about implementation. When does it start? When does it finish? Who is the leading institution? And then you have to describe the content of the activity, the target group. So yeah, this is about everything about the activity that you have accomplished. You see how satisfied were you with the results, the implemented activity? When also here you are being asked to give a grade. Well, it's everything about the activity that you have to fulfill over there. And that was it that I wanted to speak with you about. So if you have any questions more that you'd like to ask me, or to my colleagues from the audit, why not? They are also here. So I don't know, was it clear for you? Now it's on your side to say something.
Would be important for the final report for the future to take into account the replication or future projects similar or these kind of things, or is not relevant?
I don't know if I understood your question. For the final report, taking account.
Yeah, in general, for the project, to take into account these kind of activities that the European projects will have, like replicated on other countries, or maybe with the results that we produce to think already about the future programs, these kind of things for the future, for the sustainability of the project.
I'm not sure if you are, well, the questions are there, I believe. I also am not so aware because this is new. Mainly it's the report, it's about the implementation of your project. I'm not so sure if you have that kind of question, then you have to check.
Okay.
But mainly until now, what have been analyzed, it's all about implementation.
Mm-hmm.
Just also, if you don't have more questions, to say that we will send you a certificate for those that have been attending virtually as well. I think this tool, Teams tool, will let us know who were there. And also here we have the signature. But the problem is that you made a signature. It was the name that I was asking you. I cannot read your name, but let it be, because I will ask you if I need. I have all your contacts, right? So if I will need the name, because the colleagues at our communication team, they will be responsible to send you the certificates of attendance, either if you need or not. Well, you receive it anyway. And also, what I would like you to ask you, well, my contacts are here, but I believe all of you have it. But in this presentation, you will receive it. And if you have a possibility to read the QR code now, you get the questionnaire for this meeting. Like in your project, evaluation is going to be asked. So here we also need to be evaluated. So by you, to see if this meeting was indeed useful, if we could do a different thing in another meeting. So please, I will ask you, and virtually all of you that you are on that side, please, can you just read the QR code and reply to the questionnaire so we can follow the quality here. And yeah, if there is no more questions, well, I wish you a very nice project implementation. I will wait for the invitation to be in your kickoff meetings, those that are possible to be. And that's it, I think, from my side. I just had all I needed. And just be in contact with me. It's very nice to be with you and follow all your questions. So yeah, don't be shy. I know all of you are very busy, probably that's more the question here, but just don't be shy whenever. It's very important to be close to each other. Both institutions can be close to each other.